Alright, now that we have our UVs broken out of max and our normal map AO maps baked out, we're going to open up Photoshop and begin texturing. So the first thing I like to do is bring in my UVs, my normal maps, and my AO, and just start creating my main PSD file. And you can see here, by right-clicking on a layer, you can say duplicate layer, and you can actually hit the drop down and duplicate that layer to another image that's opened. And you can see here I named that one AO, duplicate layer, and I'm going to put it into the baked low poly normals. So I'll go ahead and close that out. You can see now I have the AO, the UVs, and the normal map as well. And I'll name them all right now, and it'll just help me, clean the file up a little bit, create groups for each one so I can hide the ones I don't need to see right now, and it'll just really help you just keeping clean files just like you did in Max. So you can follow my naming conventions or just use like _D for diffuse. It really depends on you and your workflow and what works for you. So just find something that you like and will make you happy. The UVs you'll want to, depending on how you broke them out, I have them the way I do. I put them on the very top and set the layer to multiply and have it inverted so you can see the dark lines over the textures. And so setting up the diffuse layer now, I will take the AO and put it into another group called overlays, and I'll set the AO map to multiply, and I will make a copy of my normals now, and we're going to create our edge highlight map. And what that's good for is it takes your normal map and will basically highlight and bring all the edges out a little bit better, so it helps with texturing, and it'll just kind of highlight them a little bit. It's an edge highlight map, so it kind of speaks for itself, and you'll see where the recesses are and where the darker spots are here. So one thing, once we're done with that, we'll want to level our set our levels here. I use 1.27, and then I will go through and just try to adjust the levels to get basically the look I'm going for with this. So you don't want anything that's too dark or too bright, because it will, once it's overlaid over your texture, will affect how it looks. So I'm just playing with a few numbers here, and that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to take this layer and set it to overlay, and don't want the opacity up to 100%. So generally a good number for my diffuse is anywhere between 10 and 40. I try to stay. You'll go really light on the diffuse for this, and you'll go a little bit heavier on the specular map. So now just saving this out, I'm going to call it datapad, and this will be the body. So we'll save that PSD, and now we want to save out our targa, and our targa will be the actual one that gets applied to the mesh in 3ds Max. So I'm just cleaning up my textures folder a little bit, and we'll just save that there. So I basically just resaved over the original file, so I could fix my naming in folders up. So we'll just add an _diffuse on the end, so we know when we're in 3ds Max that is our diffuse map that we want to point to for color. So it's nothing special right now. Mainly it's just gray with the AO map laid over it and the edge highlight. So now we're just going to save our normal map out, and we'll just call that the datapad _body _normals. So it has the same name and conventions as our diffuse maps. So then we can go back into 3ds Max and actually apply these to the model and see what it would look like with just the base gray color and the edge highlight, AO, and the normals applied. So up next, once we get this set up, this is basically a base setup, we're going to move on to actually texturing and trying to find some materials that will work for this asset.